Okay.
Oh, all right.
Well, that's a ranged support.
Oh my god, Duro's teaching Ruler how to play Nami after he ran it down in the season opening.
He did run it down a little bit. Now, okay, this is something I didn't think we were going to see this early on in the season. The Cannon is actually having a great time. Is one of the best champions actually with the Gunblade in the top lane. And when you have the range advantage into a melee who's going to look to be a bruiser, look to be a big tool to lock down the AD carry, you're going to have to get through Cannon. The Gunblade is actually be relatively valuable. You'll see what he ends up building, but there's a lot of rumors and rumblings right now of a lot of solo queue Gunblade being played for Cannon in the top lane. This is also an old favorite of Rich's. I do look at DRX's draft here and I think, you know, with the bans we had on the Lulu and the Bard, the Alistar feels okay. The Nami isn't going to crush it as hard. I think that lane is definitely playable.
Nami Corki lane, which we haven't really seen. Nami's generally reserved for Lucian almost every single time. But here we are, onto the Rift for game number 1 of our second day of the LCK Cup. All right, and that is going to be the only fan chance that I will speak through. From now on, it is going to be me on my best behavior, as Duro's going to get knocked up momentarily. A little bit of biffer already in this bottom side.
DRX, and like, frankly, the fact that they used their summoners early could have been a problem if there was a big fight there, but they backed away from that one where the junglers both showed up, right? You mentioned the Aqua Prison synergy with Canyon on the Pantheon. The DRX coach comms.
Yeah. See Joker making sure that he lets them know exactly what they need to do. We'll get you some information there. Try to open fights and push mid and top and scare Canyon.
On top of the CS advantage that he has. That was almost a kill's worth of gold in the lead. Grub's up now.
Yep. And there is a wave to be picked up by Geo as well. As okay, there's a pulverize as Canyon throws up the shield to try and keep himself safe. The flash out of the way. There's the shockwave. And Canyon looking in a whole lot of trouble. That's Willa locking down the kill. And first blood over to DRX.
DRX looking great in this opening game here.
Shinzo alongside him, but it's Willa starting here today. As Canyon will be the one to get on in here and take away at least one of these grubs. Willa can possibly go for a little bit of a late invade on this, but decides not to as Chovy.
Push that up. He's relatively safe here. Yeah. That's their only cross map.
Yeah, Gen.G just kind of caught napping right now in this game. And Willa going to be able to take this one. We'll have a look at what our next... So, oh my, Earth, Wind, and Fire again? First game yesterday, first game today. Oh my goodness, it's my birthday. I love this.
All right, going to go for Rich.
Canyon is just going to kill Rich. That's what he's going to opt in for here. And Rich is going to do his best. But yeah, Slicing Maelstrom not going to be doing too much.
Or rather, the Banana Brush. Yeah, it's not going to amount to anything.
Sneaky Slurkle does come on through there, but not too much more. As Canyon once more, there's that combo we were talking about. Handle probably not going to be dying, but Geo, he might, because he's down extraordinarily low. Barrier not going to be saving him from that one, but he does manage to dash away and flash away to safety. Just in the nick of time, but that is using every... And does have the Grand Starfall as well. They are looking for a fight here by the looks of things. Tidal Wave available. There's the flash out by Pulverize, though. It's a Sandal that decides to go in onto Ruler. The heal comes through, though, and he's now kept himself safe. As Keen from the top side, and now it's Gen.G's turn to put their weight into the fight. Let's see what they can find. A Slicing Maelstrom does absolutely nothing. The flash forward from Canyon, and the flash away from Rich is going to keep him alive, as now Chovy looks for his angle. Decides not to pull the trigger on the flash and just gets rid of all of DRX. And Gen.G says, this is my herald.
It's incredible.
Started this dragon off. Willa in the area. That is sole point for DRX if they're going to go for it. As you do have Rich moving up there from the bottom side, as now Andal goes in. I don't know about that one, as he does get put into that bubble. And now has to use the ultimate. Won't have that for this upcoming fight, which could be a big problem. Tidal Wave to lock down Willa. Is now Chovy gets the Emperor's Divide, finds the bottom lane, and wipes them out. Willa now in trouble as well, and that should guarantee the dragon. Gen.G were a little sleepy at the beginning of this game, but I think, Wolf, they have woken up.
Yeah, it's Chovy again finding this angle. He had the back into the TP into the last fight. Wasn't able to catch them when he came in, but was able to guarantee that DRX needed to be so far away from the Herald, and then this time actually sets up the kill onto the flashless Yunara. And now Rich is the next target here. Does not have his Slicing Maelstrom, and he is not long for this world.
He is very dead. Chovy going to be grabbing his next one. 2-0-1 now on the Azir. 500 gold lead. As you can see, Gen.G going to augment that with a Drake take as well. Quadra Infernal, if this game does go that long, could be pretty impressive.
And next guy was popped already. I'm just going to look for the freebie. Could see him come down here and look for it. Knows there's no flash on the Yunara. Has the perfect shuffle in. Grabs a bonus Alistar for his troubles.
Yep, no flash required as well. So we'll have that. We'll see what the utilization of those is going to look like as this game goes on. A level 20 Crocodile sounds very, very frightening. But Rich could also get himself into a pretty dangerous position. As you can see, trying to kite Keen out here. And the Dominus is going to come through. Slicing Maelstrom in response. As Rich is still dangerous, but it's Willa that's moving in first now, but still just a solo bolo for Keen. And Canyon going to come down and help out. There is the stun, and down will go Willa for the double. And man, we were saying the Rich could be a point of power. Well, that has gone.
Yeah, this is a big problem now. That's the second turret to go down here for Gen.
Third, see whether they can do anything about it, because it just feels like this game has just been taken by Gen.G.
Third and final coach voice is used here for DRX for the last moments.
Oh, Tidal Wave was a little bit expectant there from Duro. Doesn't quite find the angle as well. That was really cute. Chovy, though, just going to throw Yukal away. The slice comes in, but that is going to be the double for Rich. Comes in and wipes them out. Rula now able to answer back with the kill onto the Yunaras. Rich is now looking to wipe him out. He will be able to do so. He's now looking for some fish food as Duro will be taken. And he heard what we were saying after he got solo killed. Well, the killer is right here now and looking to try and tidy up. They're looking to kite him, though, and Keen's in trouble. Pulverize comes down. It's a quadra from Rich.
All right, we were saying it may have been Gen.G's game to lose the in vain.
얘들아 그 마지막 턴 썼는데
And having a listen here to what Joker is saying, I imagine what he said was pretty important because did manage to get them back into this game. And DRX, let's see whether they can ride this momentum, because I was really scared. Judging by what we saw yesterday, the games have tended to...
I'm looking at this game state thinking, okay, how do DRX win? Maybe a pick in the side lane here could be a first start.
Yeah, Slurkle going to come on through there is now Chovy does find the Emperor's Divide onto Giu, who's tanking up the turret, but it does not matter. That is just going to be Willa turning up, helping Giu grab himself the kill. That will also take down this turret. Keen doing the same thing towards the bottom side of the map, and it looks like a Dragon in trade as well.
I mean, they've got to start Baron right now. They have to make a snap call. There's no coach voice.
Yeah, this could be a big deal. It's already down to 50% as Ruler and Dura, they know exactly what's going on. Andal waiting offside, though, as you can see. Canyon will be showing up. Keen gets here as well. Canyon trying to get himself into this pit. Can he actually flash for it? The answer is no. They take down the cow immediately, though, and DRX, they're just looking to try and get themselves out after securing this Baron. And if they just lose the cow, 100% worth. If they lose Willer as well, probably still worth.
I mean, Chovy's TPing in to try to rush down this turret. He is in his ear. Hang on in this game. Still 2,500 gold behind. It's even Drake's now. But as Yunara becomes a bigger and bigger threat as we go on.
Well,
the team guys don't come over. I will kill this turret in about 2 seconds flat. So that's a lot of gold sitting there for the taking, as well as a lot of map control. And they will just get this group up and take it.
Oh, the flash forward from Willa doesn't actually get enough. As Rula was able to get that Valkyrie off in time. That could have been a huge moment. It wasn't actually the case.
The last couple. They still have Baron to siege this turret here. I mean, they're just going to say, well, we're going to get something out of this Baron no matter what.
Well, Tidal Wave to come on forward here as well. Teleport in from Keen at the same time as the Dominus has been popped. He's looking for his angle, wants to get on top of Giu, but decides not to commit the flash. And they do have this tower falling down in the bottom lane. Sorry, in the top lane, as well as the bottom. As you can see, Rich was taking care of that one. As now Ruler stepping forward, taking matters into his own hands here as the Arc of Judgment not doing quite, sorry, the Arc of Ruin not quite doing enough there from Giu. As DRX a little worse for wear, and the Baron only 5 seconds to go.
As well, and has an arm guard. Both carries so safe for Gen.G.
Well, Canyon just going to make his way in as now Yukal has to flash to get himself out of the way. Giu slowed down so he cannot get into the fight, and Andal, he's tanking up so much, but there's no one to follow up. Rich this time couldn't make his way in despite having flash up and available, and now it's Willa that's in a lot of trouble. They do find that fantastic shockwave, but it's just not enough. Keen gets in there. Chovy gets the Emperor's Divide, which will turn Yukal golden. But unfortunately, that does not avoid death. That's a clean ace, and Gen.G are just going to run over them.
All right, I guess it just isn't going to be that long back and forth game. The back and forth ends on Gen.G's fourth.
A relatively short back and forth. Let's go with that, because it was definitely back and forth. However, if you lose a fight like that at this time of the game, the game. Inhibitor goes down, and Gen.G will be able to take down these turrets. But I imagine they are also impressed with how DRX played this game, especially in the early stages. This is a new roster that has a lot of pieces that haven't quite gelled together yet, and I didn't really have a whole lot of hope for this squad moving into 2026, and I have so much more now.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, the story of this, I think that DRX, especially in terms of macro and their setup and their early game plan here, kind of blew me away. In terms of expectations, I did not really have any for them coming into this series, and I still think Gen.G is likely going to close this one out in the next game, but that was just going to be Jin here for Gio. So instead of going for that scaling hyper carry, is going to look for something to follow up on all this front line. They have the Jarvan, they have the Sion, the Cassiopeia will do a lot of consistent damage later on. Great pick into the Rise. Take the nameplates off here. I feel like these drafts are almost dead even.
I mean, I'm a little bit worried though at the lack of damage on the DRX side, right? Like, so much of this is going to come from Yukal, and he is very single target. Outside of his ultimate, he's going to be wanting to twin fang someone that's in range, and he doesn't have a whole lot of that. You look at Gen.G, I mean, there are 4 threats.
There's 4 threats. Ezreal's range is going to be a problem for objective setup, so positioning is going to be really important. But I do think Ruler's
rolling. Then nothing of what I say about scaling and damage and all that sort of stuff is going to matter, as here we are, onto the Rift for game 2. All right, let's get into it. See whether DRX can once again have a good start. I think the bottom side, like lane matchup in the first few levels, way better this time around for DRX. And we'll see whether they can leverage that. As Chovy and Yukal doing a bit of battle here, but not too much to worry about. This invade might actually be able to steal this one away. Okay, Canyon moving on now towards his Krug camp. I don't think Canyon wants to give this up and does still have the vision here. There is a magical journey and actually great use of the cosmic binding. Of course, that is a problem with the warrior trickster, is the fact that you can set up for that stun, and great use of it there by Andil.
Did not even notice until it procced that Andil has taken electrocute here, which is pretty right.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're just not quite as good because they're obviously a bit stale. But they are still fine. We do have a little bit of a battle here as Ruler Arcane shifting forward, finds the stun though, does Andil, as Ruler now going to flash over the top of G, will be able to lock down the kill. Grabs that one for first blood and is looking for another. Stays alive by getting into the brush to avoid dying.
Kills here to Gen.G. So the initial setup here is on to Gio. First shot, right? He's trying so hard to get that full shot out. Flashes on him.
Man,
he's so close to it. And then Leona here gets the stun. Gets into the brush, the minion aggro is dropped.
And if he had have died, would have still been a huge win.
Yeah, no.
That's the ridiculous part, is now Chovy trying to sidestep some of this, but the ulti does come through from Yukal. Now Chovy with that phase rush is looking to try and run away. Can he get back into the run warp? He can, and that is going to get him to safety. Nicely done there, but does have to use a whole lot. Not the flash though, just Ghost.
Yeah, just Ghost. He did take Ghost this game. We've discussed this a little bit, starting with the pre-show even yesterday, but Rise takes Ghost most of the time in this meta because of the empowered recalls you get and home guards.
Home guard power as Canyon will be backing away. Good sidestep from the Deadly Flourish, but still Andil going to be able to get that electrocute proc with a bit of a meep slap. DRX now setting up for a dragon by the looks of things.
Very aware that no one can really come over here and stop him. He has flash and ult, and he is ready to use it. Yukal, he's creeping over, but I don't know if he should be.
Yeah, he's on vision himself, but you got the miasma going down. There's the knock-up onto Chovy, remember. Doesn't have the flash. True Shot Barrage sails through, though, as Yukal has to flash away. Does manage to find the Petrifying Gaze, but it is still going to be him that falls down. And the Cyclone is going to lock up the Bard as well. So sad meep sounds and 2 kills to Gen.G.
I mean, Yukal went for the 1 in a million play there on trying to shut down the Wukong. It was very cool. It did still not work, unfortunately, for him. It looked very impressive, the timing of that miasma coming out. Or Petrifying Gaze.
There is the barrier going to be used as G now looking for it. Oh, the reloading! So problematic! As Ruler is going to be able to dive off to the side with the Arcane Shift. Still, Jew is alive, and that is good news. Deadly Flourish not going to quite land.
Jin should have upgraded his clip.
Yeah, this is the problem. One day.
Wait. Actually, no way. If he, saves it.
I mean, Duro's coming in, there's the flash out, and Andrew just slaps him down. Just overstaying the welcome is now Keen. Could actually be there, the flash forward, and Rich is able to lock down the solo bolo. Chovy is going to be able to answer it here most likely, and we'll just need another Q or 2, and Rich will be going down. Does get the Soul Furnace, so we'll be buying a little bit more time as, don't tell me he gets out. Do not tell me he does not get out, thank goodness.
Well, in exchange, Yukal is going to grab that outer plate.
He's going to tick down just a little more, but let's have a listen to the coach voice here on the Gen.G side.
잠깐 나오는 거 맞대도 될 것 같아. 오케이. 집 안 갈게요, 그러면.
So I'm not going home.
As he takes the magical journey out.
Yeah, the Electrocute Bard Jin lane did not generate the lead that DRX were looking for in this one.
Yeah, getting cleanly duo killed was probably not the thing they wanted. As Tempered Fate goes down, Curtain Call comes in as well as now Gen.G looking to try and turn it. The Cyclone is enough just to kill Andil outright, as now Willa inside the Cataclysm, but who's trapped in where with who is now Jiu looking for a little bit, but Ruler is right behind him, and now Canyon just going to transfer over towards killing UCal to keep himself safe. True shot barrage onto Jiu, the flash forward from Chovy, the easy 1-2 punch here as Gen.G throw out the alley-oop, and it's 8-2. Gen.G.
And I just don't think there's a real contest in this one. DRX tried last time.
Well, let's see what they can actually get done here. It's actually Ruler that takes down the Dragon. Tempest Fate does nothing, and down goes the Bard. Now Willer is in a lot of trouble himself as he has to flash to get himself out of the way. UCal not going to be so lucky. Petrifying Gaze onto 2, but it does not matter. There is no follow-up, and that is another couple of kills swiftly going over to Gen.G as all of their quests have now been completed. And Jiu does get a bit of a wave shoved in towards this turret, but I don't think in the neutral he's really going to be able to fight against Ruler here as Willer comes down, does find the Cataclysm.
Ruler has flash and barrier, and Jiu is reloading again. Ruler's like, try me.
Oh no. Well, he will find that bullet. Ruler is going to have to possibly use something to get out of the way, but there was no vision, and so therefore it is just not going to happen. Canyon moves in, but he's just trying to deter them from sticking around. And yeah, we don't need to look at the top lane. It's not all that interesting as Andal might be dead again, as Shield of Daybreak, not actually quite enough there, but they're just going to follow him through his magical journey. So there goes the Bard once more.
You know, the analogy, you miss every shot you don't take, doesn't necessarily mean you need to take every shot. Jiu has been, certainly he's been pulling it out. Every time he gets a chance, he is going to escape here, but his turret is not long for this world. Rich is getting collapsed on. And that candle analogy, you know, maybe it's a bucket of water this time for Gen.G.
Well, you can see Rich is just bailing himself out of there as Gio is also going to die. Chovy and Ruler making short work of the Jin. The Scion, as we can see, is defecting. Just thinking that maybe Gen.G is going to be the right call for this game. But he is just going to be able to make it out. Cute little use of the Unstoppable Onslaught to make sure that he is going to survive. But Gen.G, in the meantime, will be taking the side. Solar Flare not quite getting the stun onto UCal. Looked like it was very, very close, but good sidestep there. Avoids that. But it looks like Duro and Keen will be able to absorb this pressure, actually doing a bit of damage back towards UCal as well. That Eclipse now completed. And Ruler with some spare time. This is what happens. I mean, DRX overloaded the bot side. They had a few extra members there. But now Dura is actually going to go for this, as now UCal could be in trouble. The flash out of the way from the Tempered Fate means that UCal is just dead, and Willer tries to get back towards that side of the players. Okay, Duro. Straight underneath the turret, is actually surviving for a very long time and uses the Rift Herald to get himself to safety. Willer is going to be ran over by the Rift. What the heck was those coach comms? They go into Duro's ear and say, all right, can you just pilot the Rift Herald to murder someone as you are almost definitely going to go down, and then watch Ruler get a solo kill in the mid lane? That was probably not what was said, but we did hear that he was giving Duro tips.
Yes. Wow, that was everything. I was going to say that was something, but I think it was actually quite
That was everything. A lot of things.
Yeah. No summoners for Duro in that exchange, by the way. Just all clean, you know. Go in, tank for Canyon to get the charge, reboot into the Herald, and then turn around and grab the kill. The Ruler's just making a highlight reel over here.
Yeah, he is. Willer might be able to kill him. He did have the barrier available, though. There's a Cataclysm avoided, and Ruler outplays him to pick up the double solo. Rich is going to turn up, and that's going to make it too hard as Deadly Flourish does come down. But I think the damage has been done as Gio is immediately punished now for killing Prince Ruler. And Canyon will be able to deal with that as he flashes forward to pick that one up. Now, Rich, they just left. As UCal was teleporting in,
yeah,
that's why.
TP is just a little bit too late. I want to get an instant replay of the fan cam, because the fans 100% game 2, perfect KDA, but it's kind of been the Ruler show here.
And Ruler had a pretty good game 1 as well. So, I mean,
recency bias means my prediction is Ruler's going to get it, because, I mean, watch this.
I mean, he does this, right?
Yeah.
And that might be enough just to get it regardless. Man, that was a sick outplay. What was that, is what he said.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe with the smack talk on top of it, he might get my vote. We'll see what happens to the rest of this game.
All right, well, DRX, they're not out of it just yet, but they're very close. It's 11,000 gold, and we do not want to,
they are out of it, Alice.
Yeah, we don't want to say anything that may lead to us sounding like we are not being a bit disingenuous. We don't want that. This game is borderline over. As Canyon is going to get engaged on here. Let's see whether he can find something as the Cyclone does get a couple of knockups. surviving for a very long time, however, will be taken out. But look at these health bars. They're so low. Great sidestep there from Chovy at the same time. Does get interrupted, so he's not realm warping away, but that might be a dangerous thing as he gets a big old shield from the Seraphs, and in goes everyone. Ruler's now showed up. That's a bunch of extra money. I mean, Giu does manage to get the kill onto Chovy, so that is a big deal for picking up that cash, but I just don't think it's going to be worth it when Ruler is going to be picking up his 9th kill in a couple of moments.
Yeah, I mean, does this really change the landscape of POM votes that much? Like, it was really impressive from Chovy, but it wasn't an actualizer highlight, you know? It was.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, he ghosted, which is cool on the patch. I mean, yeah, Ruler killed a Scion, so that's not really like that many points in his corner either.
Oh, but he tanked.
The outplay! Rich survived for a really long time, which is kind of cool. Are we just gonna...
Wait, we're gonna go for this? Oh, the pro view, okay. Didn't we have... Never mind. He was saying something, so we will be able to get all of the info.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He called him a youngin', essentially. I was right.
He's like, I'm so young, and now I'm older. As he died. As we've got a little bit of a fight here towards the top side. There's a public execution. Tempered Fate locks up a few of them. But unfortunately, Andil is still going to die. Yukal also looking a bit worse for wear as it's a triple kill already for Ruler. And let's see whether he can lock down the Penta this time. Rich is going to go down for the Quadra, and Giu is just running for the hills. Another denied Penta here for Ruler. Unfortunately, they are still going to run after him, but it's just not going to be twice in a row.
I think...
What are the odds?
The game will last long enough for that to come through. Oh, Jin versus Turret. Turret wins!
Oh no, there's the Penta! There's the Penta! Unofficial Penta for Ruler! Put it on the stats page! Oh my god! It didn't feel great for anyone, I think, involved, as Ruler does one shot towards that turret to do 1 billion damage to it. Willa almost just dies as an afterthought, as in goes Canyon, finds the Cyclone, and down goes Willa. Now Ruler is moving forward. Tempered Fate does not find him, but Petrifying Gaze, it does. Public Execution gets right in amongst it, as it's a double for Ruler so far. Chovy grabbing a kill himself. And man, this Ruler guy is pretty good at this video game. 17, 2, and 6. And finally, Gen.G will put DRX out of their misery.
Yeah, pretty quick game 2 here. 24 minutes in. Game 1 a lot more interesting. DRX decided to send it big on those 2 Dragon fights. They came up with nothing. And when it comes to the best team here domestically in the LCK, you give them an inch, they take a mile, and they smash game 2.
My goodness.
In very convincing fashion. This is our first look at this roster post-Worlds, and it looks pretty scary.
Yeah, it looks kind of the same. Yeah, and it was very scary. Remember how many games they won in a row? It was like